Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check out today's episode. And guys, I was up here today with the boys. We came up to do some bluegill fishing here at Stockton Lake, and something happened here on the lake when we got here that really, it doesn't surprise me, but at the same time, it sort of shocked me a little bit. I want to share it with you guys and really want to get your opinion on this whole scenario, because there's a lot to unpack with what I saw here on the lake happening. So we're going to get into that in today's video. Also, guys, for get started, just a quick reminder about we do have my fall Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns up on the fishthemoment.com website. Guys, if you're looking to get some good fishing spots and good information on your favorite lakes for this fall, please check that out. These are maps I built for fishthemoment.com that great resources to learn more about a lake you've never seen, or a lake that but you want to get some good places on. So I'll link that in the description of the video here. And guys, thank you very much for taking time to subscribe here to Intuitive Angling. Really appreciate that. Okay guys, I got down here this morning, and after I launched the boat, came back down there, and there was two dudes down there. They're probably 20 yards away from the ramp there, and they had a board, and they were flaying out some bass. They had a double limit of bass. They caught largemouth, spotted bass, and Kentuckies. They'd been night fishing last night, and that's about the only time you can catch anything decent around here in the Ozarks this time of year is night fishing. I mean, they bite so much better at night. But they had been fishing out all night, and they had this double limit of bass. And when I walked by him, or I overheard them, I didn't go over and talk to him about it. One of the guys I heard one of the guys say, he goes, "I ain't paying no $20 a pound for steak." It's like they were having this conversation, and it got me thinking, guys. It's like right now, it's like grocery prices are just skyrocketing. I mean, the price of steak right now, I think, is anywhere between $12 to $20 a pound. Vegetable prices are skyrocketing. They announced last week that the price of wholesale groceries are up 38% right now. Not retail groceries, but wholesale groceries, and that's going to get passed on to consumers as a result of these tariffs that we're having right now. And I think a big part of the beef right now is it's a combination of the tariffs and a combination of the drought that's been accelerated through man-made climate change. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now. It's making it super expensive, to go to the grocery store and buy food. And what it got me thinking about, after I heard those guys talking, and after, we talked about this before, is this whole deal. It's like, is the economy and everything about rising food prices, is that going to put more pressure on the bass as far as people keeping and eating bass? I think it is big time. And one of the things about it, if you guys studied much about our history in the country, like back in the 30s during the Depression, like here in Missouri, guys, the deer herd almost went down to nothing in the 30s. It's like the wildlife populations went down to basically almost nothing, because everybody was out fishing and hunting, because money was so hard to come by. And it's a legitimate question to ask, or have we returned to that to some extent, in the sense that there's so many people out there that bass fish. And one of the things that I've noticed about people that bass fish, that keep bass, one of the justifications they make for it is like, it's their right to do it. He goes, I don't care if it's, how big they are, if they're legal keeper, I'm going to keep them. And when they go out and they spend all this money on a boat and all the money on a truck and all this gas money to go fishing, they feel like they've got to have something to show for it in order to justify that expense. Now, I think there's a lot of there's a lot of areas on this that's creating a lot of pressure with it. You have the segment of the population out there that, it's like they've got their heels dug in. It's like, by God, I'm going to keep bass. I remember Aaron Martins got into this argument with this dude down at Lake Falcon one time. This guy was flaying out like a limit of 5 to 8 pounders. And Aaron went up to him and he goes, "Oh my God," he goes, "I can't believe it." Why are you killing these freaking giant bass? And this guy turned around, he goes, "I don't give a damn if they're 12 inches long or 12 pounds. He goes, "If it's a legal keeper, I'm going to flay it out." And that is the pervasive mentality you have with a segment of the people that have their heels dug in to keeping and catching bass. And then you have a lot of people that have come here from foreign countries into our country that may not understand the laws. And I know that, there's some issues with that as far as keeping over their limit or under the size limit. So there's a lot of different challenges that we have as far as pressure on our bass fisheries from people consuming and eating the bass. And in addition to that, you can't discount all the delayed mortality from the bass tournaments, especially from live scope with the bear trauma issues from keeping bass that are caught deeper. So we kill a lot of bass thanks to live scope and forward facing sonar through bear trauma issues, delayed mortality. Obviously people are keeping and eating more bass right now because the economy's, tanking, and the groceries, prices are going up. A lot of people, even before that, even if that's not a factor, they're still going to do it because that's a culture. A lot of people keep and eat fish. I'm not judging people that do that. A lot of people get pissed off when I do the videos like this that say anything bad about keeping and eating bass. That is a right that you have. If you stay within your legal right, then nobody can say anything about it. That's just the choice some people make. Some people choose not to fish or look at fishing as a catch and release or some type of a sporting event. Some people see fish as nothing more than food. And one of the things about it, one of the reasons that we've been able to maintain decent bass fishing throughout 50 years of heavy pressure is the program that Ray Scott started back in the 1970s with Bassmaster about don't kill your catch. That was a big motto back from Bass in the 70s. As catch and release, Bass instituted penalties for, dead fish. They developed, live wells came along to keep bass alive. So there's been a lot of conservation efforts from a lot of people that are aware of the increased pressure that we have in our fisheries, that we have to do something about it. So ultimately, it's up to the conservation departments and the state fisheries managers. You've heard me be very critical of them in the past because I think they drag their feet, and I think the creel limits are way too liberal. On every state across the country, I think the creel limits are way too liberal. And another thing about that, it's like there's not enough agents on the lake. It's like here in Missouri, guys, there are so few wildlife officers in the state that have a gigantic territory that most people that maybe not that don't follow the law to the T, they think it's worth it to keep over their limit or under their length limit, and they do. I've seen them do it before. So I think there's a lot of problems that we have as far as people taking advantage of our fisheries simply because they know the odds of them getting caught are very slim. I fished Table Rock Lake and Stockton and all these Ozark, Missouri lakes for 55 years, guys. And out of 55 years, I think that I've only been stopped like twice. And I fished these lakes as much as anybody in the state of Missouri. So I've been stopped twice in over 50 years. So we need more enforcement. We need more, agents on the water, to make sure that our fisheries stay sustainable because we have a lot of pressure on these fish right now. And, there's a lot of people out there that even though there are fish that are a lot better tasting and a lot easier to catch, they don't want to fish for walleye. They don't want to fish for crappie. They don't want to fish for flathead catfish or anything like that. They want to go out, and if they catch a limit of bass, they're going in the frying pan. That's just the way it is to it. So I don't know, man. It's one of those things. It's like there's no easy answers to it, but ultimately the conservation departments and the state managers have to be the one that have their finger on the pulse of this, because we don't want to get back in a situation like we were back in the 30s here in Missouri, where we decimated our fish and wildlife populations because of over harvesting of it. So anyway, guys, let me know what y'all think about it. We'll check later.